Hey, what's up, guys? Alex here, and what we're going to look at is NFL lines are on the move, so we are going to look for some profitable betting opportunities. So we can see in the Chiefs-Chargers game, sharp sportsbooks like Pinnacle, they're starting to move the totals lower. Right here, you can see an arbitrage betting situation between Pinnacle and Fanduel. Pinnacle is giving you plus 117 on the over 56.5 points, and Fanduel is giving you minus 105 on the under 56.5 points. So this was the first bet I placed. They gave me $131 on Fanduel. So again, what this OddsJam column on our site does is it takes a weighted average of Pinnacle and BookMaker, the two sharpest sports books, arguably in the world. So Pinnacle and BookMaker, we've discussed this in other videos. They're very sharp, efficient betting markets. They allow very large bet sizes. And for that reason, they are a good proxy of what the fair odds should be because they accept sharp action. They welcome action and wagers from sharp sports bettors. So what you can see here is Pinnacle started ripping the total lower. FanDuel still had minus 105. So what I was able to do is place my bet on FanDuel minus 105 odds before, the odds moved. And what you can see now is FanDuel actually just updated under 56.5 to minus 120 odds, right? Because it was a sharp bet. It was a profitable bet. We placed under 56.5 minus 105 odds, and now FanDuel has already moved it to under 56.5 minus 120 odds. So that's an example of a profitable betting opportunity, a plus EV bet. So again, what this OddsJam column on our site does, it weights Pinnacle and BookMaker so you can get an indication of what the sharp sportsbooks think. With any NFL betting strategy, any NFL betting model, you need to be taking into account what Pinnacle's current odds are and what BookMaker, this BM, what BookMaker's current odds are, because again, these are the two sharpest sportsbooks in the world. So what we can do is what we've done in other videos is we can take the weighted average of Pinnacle and BookMaker and say, okay, given Pinnacle and BookMaker, what do we think is the fair odds? If we remove the juice, remove the vig from these markets, what do we think is fair? So plus 113 minus 134, that's the weighted average of Pinnacle and BookMaker. So if I go here and I go to the no vig fair odds calculator, what we'll see is if we remove the juice from Pinnacle and BookMaker, we can see the fair odds for this bet were minus 121.97. And we got minus 105, which is much better. So we beat the fair odds, right? You always want to be beating the fair odds. And, we did that because we got minus 105 when Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker, has it minus 134. So that is how you bet on the NFL. I mean, just like every other sport, in a profitable way. Any NFL betting model, you need to incorporate bookmaker odds and Pinnacle odds into your model because these are the two sharpest sports books. When sharp action comes in and starts hammering unders, that happens first offshore on these books. Pinnacle and BookMaker that are available in many countries allow very large bet sizes and are very efficient betting markets. So we'll go back here. Well, actually, we can add this to our... So we placed our bet for $131. So this was on the Chargers under. And we placed it at minus 105 odds. We staked $131. So our profit if we win is 131 times 100 over 105. That's just your profit if you win, placing an $131 bet at minus 105 odds. So let's go back here. Now I already forgot the no vig fair odds. So let's go to the Chiefs game. We have this little search button on OddsJam. So we can search for the Chiefs game. And we can go to this specific game. We can see the lines are starting to move towards the Chargers, actually. Bookmaker's already down to minus 271 on the Chiefs. So it looks like some sharp action is actually coming in on the Chargers. So maybe this plus 260 is actually not a terrible bet as well. If you wanted some Chargers action, because Bookmakers come all the way down to plus 232 and Pinnacle's all the way down to already plus 245 Chargers. But anyways, we wanted to go to total points, and we placed our bet at under 56.5 minus 105 odds. So you can see that BookMaker, it was an arb to BookMaker, right? Minus 133 plus 109, and an arb to Pinnacle, right? So it's an arb to the two sharpest sportsbooks, which is exactly what you want as a sharp sports bettor and to make money betting on NFL matchups. You want to be betting arbitrage opportunities to Bookmaker and Pinnacle. So the OddsJam column weights Pinnacle and BookMaker, and we can see the weighted average of over 56.5, under 56.5 is plus 112, minus 132, right? Plus 112, minus 132. So that's our indication of fair value. So if we go here, we type in plus 112, minus 132, we see our fair win percentage is 54.67%, and the no vig fair odds are minus 120.62. So we'll go back here, and we'll put here 0.5467. That is the fair win percentage of our bet. So according to the two sharpest bookmakers and their odds at the given time, if we place a bet on Chargers under 56.5, this bet should be winning 54.67% of the time. So the expected value of this bet is 124.76 times 54.67. So in other words, our profit if we win times the amount of times we are winning, according to the sharpest bookmakers in the world, minus, how much we stake, which is how much we'll be losing if the game goes over 56.5, times our loss probability, which is 1 minus our win probability. So the expected value of this bet is 882, right? That is a sharp bet. Unfortunately, Fanduel limited me to $131. But again, that is a very sharp bet, right? Bookmaker and Pinnacle started moving way lower in their markets, and we were able to get our bet down on these stale odds on Fanduel at minus 105 odds. So we'll go back, we'll look for another betting opportunity, and we can see if there's anything interesting. So here we can see another interesting one. Unfortunately, I'm in Virginia, so I don't have Barstool or Twin Spires available, but you can see that UAB plus 3.5, you can get plus 106 on Twin Spires and Barstool, and Tulane minus 3.5 is plus 103 on Bookmaker. And Pinnacle has this favored minus 111, so this plus 106 is also an arb to Pinnacle. So this is another great betting opportunity, right? Like you can see right here, UAB plus 3.5, you can get plus 106. It's really the outlier as these sharp bookmakers start to move much more in favor of UAB plus 3.5. Like this is minus 121 on Bookmaker. You can get it plus 106 on Barstool. So that's an incredibly sharp bet, and it's favored on Pinnacle minus 111, minus 105. So you can see like college football lines and NFL lines are really starting to move. Here's another good one. Padres plus 1.5 on Caesars, minus 150. It's an arb to DraftKings, so you could lock in a risk-free profit by tonight. And it's also an arb to Pinnacle, right? It's an arb to the sharpest bookmaker. So this would be another great betting opportunity. So we'll refresh this, and we can see if we can find anything else that is interesting. And we can, right? You can look at this Lions versus Ravens over. That looks interesting. And we can also look at this Texans point spread. So there are a couple more arbs on DraftKings, which look kind of interesting. So you can see DraftKings also, if we wanted more action on the under, we could place a bet on under 58 points, minus 140 odds, in the Chiefs-Chargers game. So we can actually just pull this up again and we can look at it and we can see if Bookmaker even goes out that low. So Bookmaker stops at over under 57, but Pinnacle goes down to over under 58, right? And we can see these are pretty much in line, like Bookmaker and Pinnacle. Bookmaker's giving you plus 117 on the over 57. Pinnacle's giving you plus 124. On the under 57, Bookmaker's giving you minus 145. Pinnacle's giving you minus 141. So even though Bookmaker's market doesn't go all the way out to over under 58, like it's pretty similar to Fanduel in the over 57 and under 57. So you can assume like this minus 140 is a pretty good bet. Another arb to Pinnacle, right? And it'll show up on the OddsJam positive expected value page, and this would be another profitable betting opportunity. So maybe we want a little bit of action on that. So we'll go to the Chargers game, and we will go to under 58 points, minus 140. And, because we already have some action on it, we'll just place 500, and we'll see if they take it. So they take it. They take $500 on the under. Again, our proxy for what the fair odds should be as lines start ripping lower in this game are we want to find the 0 vig odds from Pinnacle, because Pinnacle's the only book that we can currently see on OddsJam, or the only sharp bookmaker that's providing odds for over under 58. Bookmaker's not posting lines, so this is their market. So the fair odds are minus 149. We're beating that, we're blowing that away. We're getting minus 140. So our win percentage is 59.84%. According to Pinnacle, when you remove the juice, remove the vig, and back out the break-even win probability. So what we can do is go here, 0.5984, and then we can go to Chargers under 58. We got minus 140 odds. We bet 500, so our profit if we win is 500 times 100 divided by 140. So 357, that's our profit if we win staking $500 at minus 140 odds. So the expected value of this bet is 357.14 times the amount of times we're winning, 59.84, minus our stake times our loss probability, which is 1 minus our win probability. So $12 in EV on that bet. So now we have 2 mathematically profitable bets that we've placed, and we can go back and we can hunt for some more. Again, lines are always moving. They're always changing around. This is something you have to move quick to. Like here, you can see this Indians Royals over 8.5 just popped up. So what we can do is we can go to MLB, and we can go to Indians Royals over 8.5 plus 100. Let's see how much they give me. So they're giving me $500 on this. It's an incredible bet. And boom, I just placed $500 on Indians Royals over 8.5 plus 100. So why is this good? I mean, it's an arb to literally everything, right? Like if we just click on this specific game, what we can see is over 8.5, you can get it plus 100 on Fanduel. It's an arb to basically everything, right? 888 Sport Canada, 10-bet have it minus 130, minus 120, minus 113 on Barstool, minus 125 on Betfred, plus 105 on the under. And you can kind of go through. It's an arb to bookmaker. So this is another incredible bet. The weighted average of, Pinnacle and BookMaker means that your no vig odds, so minus 118 plus 104. So we put that in the no vig fair odds calculator. This is the weighted average of Pinnacle and BookMaker's market. And we can see the fair odds are minus 110.42. We blew that out of the water and we got plus 100. So this is going to be the Indians over. And our fair win percentage is 0.5248. 0.5248. We're getting odds at plus 100. So we're staking 500 to win 500, right? Plus 100 odds. So the EV of this bet is we're winning $500 52.48% of the time, according to the sharpest bookmaker in the world. And we are losing $500 the rest of the time. So this is a great bet, right? $24 in expected value. So now we have 3 bets. They're all mathematically profitable. We have this diversified portfolio of MLB and NFL sharp bets that all have positive expected value, which is pretty incredible. That's what you want as a sports bettor. So you can see Marlins Nationals game over 7.5 ripping higher. We can get minus 108. So what we can do is now go to the Marlins Nationals game over 7.5 minus 108. And I'll see if they let me get my balance on it, and they do. So I have 468.54 left in my account, so sure, we'll place that bet. And you can do the same thing. You can go through, back out your expected profit, the expected value of your bet. And again, this is really to show you the power of OddsJam. Like, I am limited on Fanduel and many of these other sports books, but you can still derive value if you're just looking consistently for great betting opportunities and you're risking capital on those. Like, I could arb Pinnacle and I could arb Twin Spires and Bookmaker here and make a risk-free 2.2%. But more importantly, this plus 106 is just an incredible bet because it's literally an arbitrage opportunity to the 2 sharpest bookmakers, which means it has to be a good bet, right? You can't have risk-free money in sports markets and not have there be a side that is off. And here, like both sharp sports books, Bookmaker and Pinnacle, are indicating to you that this plus 106 is an incredible betting opportunity. So that's what you should be laying your capital on. That is positive expected value betting. So you can see there are a lot more bets we could go through, we could look at. First half point spread, you can see Texans plus 6.5, right, versus the Panthers. That looks like another good betting opportunity. And you can kind of go through and look at, this Lions-Ravens game is kind of interesting. So we can pull up this game. And what we can do is we can look at, BookMaker has the over-under set at 50, right? Pinnacle has it more favored towards the over, minus 113, plus 102. And we were looking at the odds on DraftKings. So we wanted to see the odds on DraftKings. So you can see DraftKings has minus 110, so that doesn't look particularly good. But you can kind of go through and look for some interesting betting opportunities versus these sportsbooks. Because there are a lot of totals, right? That's what's so interesting about these U.S. sportsbooks is the quantity of markets that they have. So we placed 3 bets today, 2 on the Chargers under, and then a profitable MLB bet. There are some really good betting opportunities on Twin Spires right now in MLB, right? We have Reds minus 2, plus 114 odds on Twin Spires, right? That's an arb to Pinnacle. So this would be a bet I'd want to place if I were in a state with Twin Spires or Barstool. And you can kind of go through, hunt for some more good betting opportunities. And that's really all I got. So I hope you found this video helpful, and what we'll do in other videos, well, we can take a look at this briefly. So we have Texans plus 6.5. You can get minus 105 on DraftKings, which honestly doesn't make a ton of sense because you can see like all these other sportsbooks have the regular line set at plus 4.5, minus 4.5. Right, like DraftKings has minus 115 on Texans plus 4.5, but you can get plus 6.5, minus 105. Seems a little too good to be true, but it's an arb to Pinnacle, so this can be the last bet that we place. So we'll go to NFL. Again, you want to move quickly to get in on these great betting opportunities. So we'll go to halves, and then we will go to first half, and then we want to find Texans. And you can see if we type in Texans, we can get plus 6.5, minus 105. So this seems like a pretty incredible bet. So they're reviewing it, and we'll see if they take it. Which is pretty interesting because you can see we're getting Texans plus 6.5, minus 105. But yeah, anyways, this market just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you just look closely. I won't give it away, but if you look closely, it definitely looks like this plus 6.5 is a little too good to be true. So I hope you found this video helpful. In future videos, we'll do more of the same. We'll talk about sharp betting. We'll talk about making money betting on the NFL and other sports. And yeah,